22, Matthew 22. I'll try the best I can to keep the coughs out of the microphone, but I don't think it's going to work that way. Yeah, we were studying this parable last week, the parable of the marriage feast. It has a direct reference to the leadership of the Jewish people. We saw that he was furious of those murderers and burned up their city. Now, the burning up of the city is a reference to the destruction of Jerusalem, which was going to happen in 70 A.D. Now, when it says that these murderers were destroyed, the word destroyed doesn't mean annihilated or done away with. It means that their effectiveness was destroyed. And that's what happened with the Jewish leadership. They were no longer effective, and especially after 70 A.D., they weren't effective at all, of course. We got down to verse 11. So let's pick up here at verse 11. Would someone read for me 11 through 14? Read for us 11 through 14. We'll see how these microphones pick up stuff.
I'll read. But when the king came in to say yes, he saw a man there who did not have on the wedding garment. So he said to him, "Friend, how did you come here without a wedding garment?" The king said to the servant, "Bind him hand and foot, take him away, cast him down the darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth."
Go ahead and read verse 14.
When you're called, you are chosen.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so he talks about here the king coming in to the guest that finally came to the wedding feast. And he found a person there, it says, who did not have on a wedding garment. And because he didn't have on this wedding garment, the king asked him why he would come without one. And the guy was speechless because it was unheard of to attend a wedding feast, especially if a king has one, without having a wedding garment on. And the king told the servants to bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into outer darkness where there would be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So this is evidently a pretty serious deal here, not to have on a wedding garment. Now, I have heard in times past, and I'm sure that nobody here believes this way, that he's talking about if you're a man and you own a suit, you're supposed to wear your suit to church. If you're a woman, you're supposed to wear your best clothes to church. Well, do you think God is actually going to take someone and cast them into hell because they don't have a suit or they don't have on their very best clothes to church? You're in a different church than I'm in, if that's what you believe. I remember days when they wouldn't let a man wait on the table if he didn't have on a suit. It may have been that way here at one time, but things like that change. Customs with clothes change. They didn't have suits in that day. They had different clothing. And when a king would throw a wedding feast like this, or someone would throw a dinner like this, have a great feast for people, but especially the wedding, they would provide for those that were coming clothing. So you didn't wear dirty clothing to this. You wore the clothing that was appropriate for this banquet that they were having. Now, obviously, the clothing here does not represent to us today actual clothing. This is a parable, so that stands for something else. So we're going to look for something else to be the wedding garment. We're going to look for something else that we have to have on, that we need to be in whenever we come before God, whenever we worship God. And if we don't have this, it's serious enough that on Judgment Day, we're going to be cast into punishment. So does anybody have an idea of what the wedding garment might represent to us today in the church?
To me, it meant coming out
Okay, coming unprepared.
That's the way I interpret it. Guest was not ready to meet the king and the other guests, and that's exactly what's going to happen if we're not ready. If we haven't done everything that we're supposed to by the end time, then we're going to get that same verdict.
Okay, I would agree with that. Luke?
So in addition, when they're getting guests and service on value, it's not intense. When they come,